70,000 naira minimum wage for workers with effect.
Mr. Speaker, we present to you your visitor, the Governor of Ebonyi State. Thank you.
Thank you. Our dear visitor, and the amiable Governor of Ebonyi State, His Excellency Right Honorable Builder Francis Obuna Wifuru, our dear Governor, other distinguished members of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, I defer to you, a Deputy Right Honorable Chinedu Ona, without neglecting the Deputy Governor who is also here, Princess Patricia Obila. I welcome everybody to Ebonyi State House of Assembly today, and I therefore present this address to you. We have gathered again today at the most appropriate place to commemorate this all-important ritual that holds the fate and future of our dear state and people for the next 12 calendar months. It is the presentation of the 2025 appropriation bill to the State House of Assembly for their mandatory action before the executive assent as required by law. In preparation for the next year's government expenditure. This is apt and commendable. It is therefore my pleasure to welcome our dear august visitors who have assembled at this pivotal time to perform and as well witness the presentation of 2025 budget to the State House of Assembly by the father of the state, our benefactor, the arrowhead behind the success of Ebonyi People's Charter of Needs, our amiable Governor, His Excellency Right Honorable Builder Francis Obuna Wifuru, FNIOB, GGECHF, FCAI, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State. Again, on behalf of the floor functionaries, our esteemed honorable members and staff of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, I extend our warmest welcome to the Executive Council members here present, elders in council, the founding fathers, our foreign partners, all appointees of government, the local government chairman, the fourth estate of the realm, the security officers, and the entire Ebonyi citizens who extolled the importance of today's occasion and made themselves available. Indeed, your presence speaks volume to the reason of our gathering today. It is important to note here that we are eternally grateful to God for His mercy and magnanimity in sparing our lives to witness again this year's budget solemnity. This we can never take for granted. Your Excellency and great Ebonyians, the honorable members, as critical stakeholders and formidable arm of government, have taken a great deal of time to ruminate on the execution of 2024 budget. Your Excellency, sir, it is interesting to inform you and the gathering that the results of their findings through consistent oversight is not only mind-blowing and heartwarming, but also a total reflection of your people's Charter of Needs agenda, where your administration is anchored for the total emancipation of the Ebonyi people and the fulfillment of the lofty dreams of our dear founding fathers. The statistics in place shows that you have performed over 100% budget execution on capital and recurrent expenditures in all ramifications, but very less on your personal expenditures because of your selfless nature. In education, you matched your people's Charter of Needs policy with your height and proved the giant you are through the reactivation of both foreign and local scholarships, where currently about 100 Ebonyians meritoriously selected across the state have been captured to kickstart the program. This is just an area I choose to highlight in education for paucity of time, but in no way in your footprint in our primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions will go unmentioned, especially the welfare of our workers at Ebonyi State University. This is an intentional effort towards mental development and increasing useful workforce of the state for greater Ebonyi people and Ebonyi State. This is commendable, Your Excellency, and we remain eternally grateful to you, sir. In the nature of the scriptural Nephilims, where everyone is born giant, Your Excellency, you have also proven yourself peerless in the area of health. Just a few days after your inauguration, you declared state of emergency in the health sector. This was swiftly followed by the revitalization of the 13 general hospitals, primary health care centers, boosted manpower for effective health care service delivery through employment of qualified medical doctors and other health personnel, provided ambulances and utility vehicles to ease their services, among other things. Your Excellencies, since the flyover of Onwa Healthcare as the offshoot of the 2023 State Health Insurance Summit conducted by the State Health Insurance Agency, EBSHA, and the inauguration of BEU, the PET project and the foundation of our dear mother, the mother of the state, and the wife, amiable wife of the governor of Ebonyi State, Her Excellency Chief Mrs. Uzamaka Ubunda Wifru. The health tone of Ebonyi State never remained the same. The smiles on the faces of the beneficiaries in the just concluded hernia, fibroid, and eye surgeries, their testimonies and prayers are surely the most practical and best evidence on the functionality of your administration's policy, the People's Charter of Needs in the state. Your Excellency, this has not only increased the lifespan and economic prosperity of Ebonyi citizens, but most importantly, has gallantly positioned us a state for the achievement of universal health coverage by 2030 as expertly produced. Your Excellency, let me acknowledge your giant strides in agriculture, the reactivation of the age-long moribund Ebonyi hatchery through the State Ministry of Agriculture, the pulverization plant at Umuara, a Zanot local government area aimed at converting waste to wealth, the ongoing construction of feeder roads across the local government areas of the state, the construction of a duplex to each palace for our traditional rulers, and the ongoing state-of-the-art flyover bridge at the popular Vanco Junction, to mention but a few, were deliberate and salient achievements of the 2024 budget, which have engendered the happiness, peace, and tranquility of the state residents, thereby fulfilling the essence of good governance, as defined by Thomas Jefferson, who said, "The care of human life and happiness, and not their destruction, is the first and only object of good government. Your Excellency, sir, on behalf of my colleagues, the House of Assembly Service Commission, and the entire staff of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, first, we want to thank you, Your Excellency, for supporting us to procure 24 brand new Prado Jeeps, which has since been distributed to the honorable members. Two, we also thank you immensely for your approval for the modernization and renovation of the hallowed chambers and the entire complex. The essence was not for mere beautification, but to provide a befitting place that would engender efficiency in service delivery. Let me inform you that the essence has been achieved 100%, and all are very happy. Thank you, sir. The activities of State House of Assembly within the year under review, Your Excellency and our great audience, within the period of last budget presentation till today, the State House of Assembly has proved to be an effective ally and partner in the Ebonyi project and of this administration without compromising the independence of the legislature. As a legislative arm of government, we have painstakingly partook in all the activities of government, made fundamental laws and passed executive bills that would provide ease of governance to our dear state. Within the period under review, passed 20 bills into law. Some of the bills I may mention are a bill for the establishment of the Ebonyi State Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency and other related matters, a bill for the establishment of Boundary and Allied Matters Commission, a bill for the establishment of Ebonyi State Rural Access Road Authority, EBRA, and for other matters connected here to 2023, a bill for the establishment of Ebonyi State Road Fund and Ebonyi State Road Fund Board and Administration, 2023, a bill for the establishment of Ebonyi State Drugs and Medical Commodities Management Agency and other related matters, 2023, a bill, appropriation bill law for the year ending 31st December 2024 and other purposes connected thereto, a bill for a law to provide for the administration of physical planning, urban regeneration and building control in Ebonyi State and for other matters connected thereto, a bill for a law to establish Ebonyi State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law, Ebonyi State Building Control Agency Regulations 2024, a bill for a law to provide for the Ebonyi State Urban and Regional Planning and Development Law and the Ebonyi State Physical Planning Permit Regulations 2024, a bill for a law to harmonize the salaries and conditions of service of chief registrars and those of permanent secretaries in Ebonyi State and other matters related thereto, a bill for a law to establish Ebonyi State Citizens Mediation Center and other matters connected, a bill for a law to amend the Ebonyi State Honors Law 2022, a bill for a law to amend the Ebonyi State Fiscal Responsibility Commission and other related matters law 2020, a bill for a law to establish and regulate the State Correctional Service to ensure humane and effective management of offenders, promote reformation, reintegration and public safety, and to make provisions for the administration of custodial and non-custodial services in the state and for related matters. It is also on record that Ebonyi State House of Assembly is the first House of Assembly in the Federation to pass this law. A bill for a law to establish Ebonyi State International Airport Law and other matters connected thereto. A bill for a law to establish Ebonyi State Water Users Association Law and provide for other matters connected therewith. A bill for a law to preserve sacredness of his ancestral homeland of Amago and Ebianubu and to prohibit sale of lands therein and for other related matters. A bill for a law to establish Ebonyi State Secondary Education Board Law 2024. A bill for a law to establish the Ebonyi State Electricity Law 2024 and for other matters connected to. And finally, a bill for a law to establish Ebonyi State Fertilizer and other chemical company Limited Board Law 2024. It is also of note that these hallowed chambers approved and adopted some motions. Some of these motions we did, there are over 18 of them, but worthy of mention is the motion adopting the proposal for the payment of town union executives by the local government council chairmen as an incentive for their invaluable roles in maintaining peace and order in their various localities. Also of worthy of mention is on a motion to ban masquerading at public places in Ohupu local government area and other parts of the state to end barbarism at Okwongbo market. It is also of note to mention the granting of executive requests to create additional communities from the existing ones in Ebonyi State. Your Excellency, for paucity of time, while time will not permit us, like I said, if I start explaining all the 18 motions and approved requests, it is imperative to point out that its importance to the growth and development of the state and ultimately the happiness of our people can never be overemphasized. Let me assure you, Your Excellency, that just as the fertile core elements, the relationship between the fetus and the mother with mutual benefits, the Ebonyi project and destiny of life has brought us together at this point in time to reshape the destiny of Ebonyi, of our people, and importantly guarantee the future of our born children of the state. To this cause, we believe we belong. To this cause, we shall champion together. I therefore assure you of our presence at all times, commitment and legislative backing to all your policies and programs. Thank you and God bless you all. Right Honorable Moses E.J. Odumwa, Speaker, Ebonyi State House of Assembly. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard clearly, as you reeled out, the performances of this honorable House. Mr. Speaker, at this point, I will beg you to call on your visitor to come and make his presentations. Thank you.
Yes, Chief Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My reverend colleagues, my name is Nkemka Okoronpa. I represented the West constituency and also the Chief Whip of this hallowed chamber. Mr. Speaker, the leader has made a motion for us to allow one of us, our governor, to come and tell us why he's here. I rise to second the motion. I so second.
Thank you. Those who are in favor of the motion that our leader, the governor of Ebonyi State, a veteran parliamentarian, be invited to come and present to us the 2025 budget. Say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of our great state, Chief Mrs. Patricia Onyemechi Obila, Your Excellency, the Honorable Speaker of our great state House of Assembly, and your distinguished principal officers of the House of Assembly, and our dear revered honorable members of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, our dear great leaders, the stakeholders of our great state that are here present, time will fail me to start mentioning your name one by one, My name is Nwifuru Francis Ogbonna, the Governor of Ebonyi State. Appearing before you, the Right Honorable Speaker, with the members of the State Executive Council and the stakeholders of our great state to present the budget of 2025 to the honorable members of Ebonyi State House of Assembly for proper legislative action. In doing that, Mr. Speaker, and our dear distinguished honorable members, before your hallowed presence in this great chamber, I stand to fulfill this all-important constitutional responsibility of my office as the Governor of Ebonyi State, which is the presentation of the 2025 budget estimate showing the projected revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year. It is always a homecoming for me whenever I am here in this hallowed chamber as the Governor of Ebonyi State. This follows the fact that I call this place home and is truly my home. The legislative activities conducted in this chamber and the excellence they intend for our dear state bring me immense joy. Thus, I wish to express my heartfelt appreciation to the esteemed Speaker and our dear distinguished honorable members of Ebonyi State House of Assembly. Like I always say, our journey is collaborative, and your unwavering commitment makes it smooth, encouraging, and yielding, all for the well-being of our dear states and the people we are choosing to serve. By what you do in this chamber, democracy is strengthened, the welfare of our people is guaranteed, and so is the prosperity of our great state. Therefore, I thank you for always putting our dear state first through your legislative standing on matters of state interests, even through your oversight functions and commitments to the ideal of democracy. I sincerely appreciate your efforts as we work to meet the needs of our great people, the finest people of Ebonyi State. As partners, we are making spirited efforts in the light of our mandate to grant our people good governance and improve living standards. This is in keeping with our campaign manifesto, christened the People's Charter of Need. We promise to address the shortfall in the various sectors of the state: health, agriculture, education, water supply, human capital development, housing, infrastructural development, commerce, industry, and business development, etc., etc. These prioritized areas are dear to us, and we are committed to their overall improvement through judicious implementation of policies and programs connected to them. It is our hope that through our modest effort in this direction, Ebonyi will take a prime of place in the Committee of States in our great nation, Nigeria. We foresee a state open to the world, investors and tourists alike, owing to its capability and opportunities in all sectors. We were here about this time last year for the same ritual, and I am certified to state that the legislative approval of this hallowed chamber of the last budget estimate as submitted was the major reason for the successes we have recorded so far. Achievement based on the budget of last year. True to our collective desire to see Ebonyi developed sustainably, we have in the past year recorded the following multi-sectoral accomplishments. In the area of health, as a government that believes that health is wealth and wishes quality health care delivery, for her citizens. Our administrations embarked on procurement of multi-billion naira medical equipment and consumables for general hospitals across the states, including, but not limited to, MRI machines, CT scan, mattresses and beds, drip stands, etc. We procured and distributed about 42 SUVs for the medical doctors and 20 ambulances for the general hospitals and motorcycles to health workers across the state. We have injected over 350 million naira for our routine immunizations across the states. With this measure, the State Ministry of Health has successfully completed the 2023 immunizations against outbreak response, OBR, for children. This is also an ongoing construction. There is also an ongoing construction of pilots, residential staff quarters in some health facilities across the 3 senatorial zone of our dear state, to ensure that health workers remain available 24 hours, 7 days a week, to attend to our health needs of our great people. We are establishing 39 modern primary health care development centers. Each of these centers will have 2 MRI machines. No, 3 of these centers will have 2 MRI machines, 1 per zone, and we are remodeling 3 primary health care centers to SME teaching hospitals, 1 per zone. In the area of education, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, and our dear great honorable members, our administration, in line with the Charter, believed that educational training should be repositioned to guarantee entrepreneurial knowledge and the acquisition of skill for economic self-reliance at all levels. Pursuant to this, therefore, we have introduced many reforms in the curriculum of basic and secondary education sectors to emphasize technology and science. To give credence to this, our administration has set out to reject teaching and learning in public schools through employment of teachers with bias in technology and entrepreneurial education. To lay the background for the future and restore the hitherto fading glory of public schools, our administration is currently embarking on establishment of the following: 39 modern secondary schools and 39 modern primary schools with modern learning and residential facilities across the 13 local government area of Ebonyi State. We have reintroduced our domestic and foreign scholarship programs with a total of 1,000 beneficiaries, while 700 are currently pursuing their master's and PhD degrees locally, and 300 beneficiaries are on foreign scholarship. This has cost the government of Ebonyi State over 13 billion naira. Work has reached an advanced stage at the site of the 2 new universities established by Ebonyi State government: the University of ICT of Erekwe, Agbaja, Izi local government, and the University of Aeronautics and Space Engineering, Eza, in Eza South, Eza North local government area. To underscore the importance our educations attached to the 2 universities and their quick takeoff as a bedrock of technological education and manpower development in the state, appointment has been made for the principal officers. We have also commenced the construction of structures in the institutions, some already at the advanced stage. Others include the recruitment of 2,000 teachers for our secondary and primary school. This exercise is ongoing and it will be soon completed. We allowed the Secondary Education Board to do this exercise because the Primary Education Board is very busy. So when the Secondary Education Board finishes the screening processes, they will take 1,000 to the secondary school and push 1,000 to the primary school. We have also acquired and distributed textbooks, notebooks, laptops, and other instructional materials to public schools in our great state for free of charge. In the area of agriculture, our administration placed much preference on practical agriculture as enshrined in the People's Charter of Need to engender food security in the states. In pursuit of this, the Ministry of Agriculture has undertaken the following measures: distribution of thousands of bags of fertilizers and other inputs to farmers, procurement and distribution of about 2,960 agricultural equipment like pumping machines, grinding machines, cassava processing machines, livestock and feed for our numerous farmers. The Nkaleke hatchery has received good attention. The poultry section has already commenced business. The state government has commenced rehabilitation of other sections, like the fishery and piggery. The hatchery when fully operational, will have capacity to create at least 2,000 jobs. Procurement of 15 brand new tractors for the Ministry of Agriculture to embark on practical farming. We are making efforts to restore the state's lost collaborations with some sporting agencies. We have paid a counterpart fund of about 200 million naira to the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, to boost agricultural activities in the states covering 2023 and 2024. We have totally revitalized the Ebonyi Fertilizer and Chemical Company Limited to be producing varieties of fertilizers and generating revenues for the state. Through Fadama, we empowered up to 2,950 practicing farmers with farm inputs, fertilizer, rice seeding, and various equipment free of charge to help them improve their farming activities. In the area of commerce, industry, and business development, we have taken steps to make the state business-friendly, by increasing the ease of doing business to encourage local and direct foreign investment. We are advancing collaboration with the government of China in business relationship, which will soon revolutionize the economy of Ebonyi State and position it as the Southeast Free Trade Zone. The state-owned pipe production company and the building materials industry at Iziango have undergone serious rehabilitation and have commenced production. We disburse 3 million naira to 100 Ebonians to support their agro-business after undergoing intensive training. 2 million to another set of 500 Ebonians, 1 million to 1,300 Ebonians, and over 9,000 Ebonians were also credited with 50,000 naira each to cushion the effect of hardship occasioned by first subsidy removal. We have also procured HDPE injection fitting machine, mold, and accessories, as well as PVC injection fitting machines, its mold and accessories to open more production line at the pipe production company. In the area of power and energy, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are determined to provide steady power supply and expand sale to our rural dwellings. Thus, we have installed stand-alone solar power street lights in all the major streets of Abakaliki, Afikpo, and Ebonyi, from Ebonyi to Nwambara Junction and the satellite towns across the state. Discussions on the possibility of establishing an independent power station in the state has reached the advanced stage. We have rehabilitated the Iboko Oferekwe 33 kVA line to number of 33 by 0.415 kVA state substation and ensure suitable electricity in the important industrial areas on Presco to Isheke axis in Abakaliki. This administration has procured a good number of transformers for some parts of the urban and rural area, which were here to in darkness for months following damaged EEDC transformers. In furtherance of the state government's determinations to restore public power supply to the entire Ebonyi South Senatorial Zone and also boost economic growth in the state, through energizing the long-abandoned 132 by 33 kV substations at Amasri. We approved the release of recovery loan to TCN, that is Transmission Company of Nigeria, granted loan of $781,234.67 plus $130,258,048 naira 24 kobo to ensure the completion of the double circuit 132 kV line from My 50 to Amasri substation. In the area of water resources, Mr. Speaker and dear distinguished honorable members, to ensure that our people have access to clean water in both the rural and urban communities of our great state, we have launched extensive water projects. We have committed enormous resources toward reviving all the moribund water schemes across the state, particularly the Ofurekwe water scheme. It is expected that the scheme will soon commence pumping of water. We are hopeful that when reticulated, it will supply water to Izi local government, Abakaliki local government, Ebonyi local government, Ikwo local government, Eza North and Eza South local government area. With positive prospects before us, we are optimistic that the old Abakaliki water scheme will come alive again, as all necessary structures at the low-lift water facilities at the Ebonyi River are currently being put in place. The high-lift water facility at the Juju Hill has been reactivated and is ready to receive the water from the low lift. The Iboko water reservoir is nearly completion. The 500 cubic meter tank, when completed, is expected to cover a large area. The Ishagu water scheme is meant to serve the entire Ivo local government area, and its environs is currently under construction. While we have completed, revitalized the Ezulo water treatment plant and the reservoir at Omar, it is pertinent, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and dear great members of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, to note that this government has, in the interim, provided waterborne holes in the 14 general hospitals in the state and has revitalized Eburuwasa to assume its mandate of managing water supplies and sanitations in our rural communities, while we intensified action on permanent solutions to potable water needs of the state. Eburuwasa, in collaboration with the P-Wash programs, has installed many solar-powered motorized boreholes in some rural communities across the state. The task is enormous, but we are relentless in surmounting the challenges. In the area of works and infrastructure, this administration believes that quality road network is the driver of development as it opens up communities, living in its trails enhance economic activities. In recognition of our state as a predominantly agrarian state, and knowing that most farmers are rural dwellers, this administration has deliberately given increased attention to improving rural road network. Apart from numerous isolated rural roads that have received or are receiving attention, there is a compulsory 2-kilometer strategic road approved by our administrations for each of the communities, each of the 67 communities in the state, amounting to 134 kilometers. Apart from over 30 completed urban roads in Abakaliki, Oneke, and Afikpo, a total of over 300 kilometers roads scattered all over the state are cumulatively receiving the attention of the Ministry of Infrastructure and Works. Some have been completed, while others are at various levels of construction. As our administration progresses in her desire to give Ebonyi people the best road network, there are plans to soon begin asphalt overlay on our concrete roads, including those inherited from the previous administration. In the area of capital city development, in our effort determinations to further enhance the status of the Abakaliki capital city and improve free flow of traffic at vulnerable intersections, we embarked on the ongoing construction of an ultramodern flyover at the over-busy Vanco Junction. Vanco is Vincent Agwankwo Junction, and the dualization of some roads in line with the Abakaliki capital city master plan. Ebonyans should be expecting more of these flyovers as we continue to advance our plans on Ebonyi road safety and urban beautifications initiative. More so, we have constructed over 100 eco-friendly bus shelters at strategic points across the state capital. In order to save the running costs and respond to the global clamor for alternative energy sources, our government has replaced the diesel and PMS-powered street lights with solar-powered alternative. With this, we have saved reasonable funds, which we have utilized in extending the project to cover more ground. In the area of environment, we have made dogged efforts to improve our environment with the deployment of huge resources to drive Ebonyi State environmental policies, with the state emerging first in the southeast, second in southern Nigeria, and third in the entire country in climate governance performance rating for 2024. Other efforts include rehabilitations and the deployment of the Ebonyi Municipal Waste Sorting Plant at Umuara Recycling Plant, procurement, installation, and operation of recycling machines, payment of 200 million naira counterpart fund for the continuation of flood control and the European Investment Bank, among other interventions. In the area of economic empowerment and human capital development, our administration prioritized the welfare of citizens as it strived to provide quality infrastructure and other material development. We recognize that it is the development of a human being that gives credence to every other forms of development. We also understand that economic empowerment and poverty reduction is one of the ways of developing people and responding to their needs. Our decision to pay off backlog of gratuities arrears of retired civil servants accrued since 1996 is a way of empowering the senior citizens and showing them deep concern for the service rendered. We believed that in doing that, we have reduced their suffering. The civil servants were not left out. We have continuously made reasonable additions to their salaries to cushion the effect of the national economic hardship. Ebonyi is now the most civil servant-friendly state. It is on record, our dear distinguished House of Assembly members, that we are the first among the states to commence the payment of the newly approved national minimum wage. In the area of housing, security, and urban development, conscious of the suffering of the displaced persons during the Ezulo crisis, our administration has almost completed the construction of the first phase of 140 three-bedroom housing units for the resettlement of the displaced Ameze and Izo communities in the area. We have advanced plan to also resettle those displaced by government acquisition of land or for other developmental purposes at Imago and Ibago of Abakaliki and Iji local government area. Contracts have been awarded for the resettlement of people displaced at the site of the ICT University of Ferekpe. The construction is almost 99.9% completed. Our dear state is one of the first states in the southeast to provide land for the 250 units of the federal government tagged Renewed Hope Housing Estate, which foundations was recently led by the Minister of Housing at Umezoka Ezanot. Our administration is currently building 67 duplexes for the 67 recognized traditional rulers across the state. Some of the houses are already nearing completion. This administration recognized the high cost of housing in the state, which is taking a negative toll on low and fixed income earners, including civil servants. That is the reason we have embarked on construction of staff quarters, beginning with the general hospitals, one from each zone, each senatorial zone. We hope to extend the project to other classes of civil servants as much as we can within the lifespan of this administration. In the area of security, our dear distinguished members of the House of Assembly, we have boosted the operation of the Nigeria Police Force and other security agencies in the state through extension of logistics support. We have reformed and repositioned the State Vigilante Civilian Corps, Neighborhood Security Watch, through capacity building for a more professional and civilized approach to vigilance. The cooperation between these civil vigilantes and the police has drastically reduced criminal activities all over the state. Ebonyi people can now sleep with their two eyes closed. In the area of rule of law, our administrations value collective social growth through peace and justice, and we are doing our best to maximize the copious human potentials in the state for social flourishing. With an unwavering determination and a passionate belief in the people, we understand that peace is indispensable to any society which strives for progress and growth. We have placed measures to ensure peace as well as maintain law and order in our dear great state, Ebonyi. We have particularly resolved not to give staff of office to any traditional rulers whose emergence is immersed in litigation. Our administration has prioritized justice, fairness, and accountability. We have strengthened our judiciary and empowered law enforcement agencies to ensure that justice is accessible to all. Our administration inherited about 64 cases of conflicts/crisis in some communities of the state. But with our determination and magnificence in peace building, over 50 have been resolved and necessary succor provided for those affected, while resolutions on the remaining ones are underway. The communities on whose conflicts have been resolved completely by the Ebonyi state government include, but not limited to, Ama and Ohanko crisis, Eza South and Ikwo local government area, Ojegbe Agwo 2 crisis, Ishelu local government area, Abomege Ishunkwo disputes, Onitsha local government area, Agwo Bata and Eza speaking people, and Kaleke Echara, among others which had lingered for long before our coming on board. In the area of aviation, the Chuba Okadibo International and Cargo Airport, Oneke, Ebonyi State is positioned as a driver of economic growth at the local, regional, and national level. It is meant to create jobs, increase tax revenues for us, and stimulate local businesses for Ebonyi State. We are proud to inform Ebonyi people that in furtherance of our desire to ensure full economic imports of our airports, part payment for the procurement of 3 aircraft has been made, while supply processes are underway. We are expecting that the aircraft will be on ground between December 2024 and 30th January 2025, by the grace of God Almighty. Additionally, you all are aware that we have concluded the asphalting of the 3.2 kilometer runway, 3.2 by 75 meters runway of the airport to best standard, while the rehabilitation of the terminal buildings is on course. In the area of transportation, In our commitment to boost economic activities in the state and lessen the financial burdens on our people, we procured 20 numbers of brand new Hiace buses for Ebonyi State Transport Corporation, Ebotrans. They have resumed operation to various parts of Ebonyi State and Nigeria in subsidized rates. Very soon, we will launch our local transportation and town service called EboCab. To this effect, we have procured 68 semi-Hilux vehicles for this purpose. It will serve our airports, international markets, and various routes in the state. Day and night, the EboCab Park is under construction. The terminal behind the shopping mall will soon be completed, and we must commission it before going for Christmas celebration this year. In the area of culture and tourism, Mr. Speaker, are there distinguished principal officers of Ebonyi State House of Assembly? Are there great leaders, very distinguished honorable members of this great assembly? We are set to remodel the Akanedam International Conference Center and Fatilami Abubakar to an international park and recreation center for the promotion of our culture and value and economic gain. As well, we have awarded contracts for the conversion of our trade center at Presco, the 10-story building, to trade center and hotel. This will boost our economy, and attract investors to our great state Ebonyi. In the area of effective public service, our state public service remains the backbone and the engine room of our successes. We have prioritized their welfare and efficiency through ensuring prompt and regular payment of salaries, pension, and gratuity. And as I'm talking to you here, Mr. Speaker and distinguished honorable members, we are not owing one person in this state. No one person, nobody in this state is being owed gratuities or pension. Free transportations to and fro their workplaces with the help of our CNG buses. Mr. Speaker, and our dear distinguished honorable members of this revered House, implementation of the last budget was adjudged worthy by internationally acclaimed budget tracking organization, Budget, ranking us highly 5th position on Fiscal Transparency League table across the nation. It is our most fervent desire to perform even better in the coming years. To this end, in consideration of our projections and proposed interventions in the economy of the state, we have christened this budget a budget of economic and social development. It is our hope that if we do our best as we plan to, this budget would guarantee industrialization, economic growth, and improved standard of living. In accordance to Section 121 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, the governor must prepare and present estimates of the state's revenues and expenditures for the following fiscal year to the House of Assembly before the start of each fiscal year, each financial year. In light of the above, Mr. Speaker, distinguished principal officers of this honorable House, are dear revered honorable members of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, are dear great leaders, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here to present a budget with a total size of 396 billion 589,009,620 naira only, with the current budget of 112 billion 73,861,620 naira, while capital stands at 284 billion 515,148,000 naira. You see the table below in my address. In this table, personnel costs are recurrent, Mr. Speaker, personnel cost is standing at 36 billion 656,4,620 naira. Overhead is standing at 75,417,857,000. At the capital is standing at 284,515,148,000, totaling 396,589,009,620 naira. The budget is made up of 5 major sectors: administration, economic, social, regional, law, and justice. These percentages are presented below. Their percentages are presented below. In the administration, 12.85%. Economic, 50.46%. Law and justice, 1%, 1.04%. Regional, 0.05%. Social, 35.6%. The personnel overhead and capital expenditure in sector are as captured below. Administrative sector is standing at 50,947,640,620 naira. Economic sector is standing at 200,132,170,000 naira. Law and justice is standing at 4,143,650 naira. Regional sector is standing at 185,500,000 naira. Social sector is standing at 141,120,049,000 naira only. You can see the sectoral personnel expenditure estimate is also attached. The administrative is 4,400,000,000. Administrative sector is 4,496,058,620 naira. Economic sector is 7,607,850 naira. Law and justice there is standing at 1,308,040,000 naira. Regional sector is standing at 75,500,000 naira. Social sector is also standing at 23,170,556,000 naira. That is the total cost of the personnel cost of 36,656,4,620 naira. Sectoral overhead expenditure estimate. Administrative is 31,644,902,000. Economic sector is standing at 39,835,565,000 naira. Law and justice is standing at 926,610 naira. Regional sector is standing at 12 million naira, while social sector is standing at 2,998,780,000 naira. Total overhead expenditure is 75,417,857,000 naira, as mentioned earlier. Sectoral capital expenditure estimate. Administrative sector is 14,806,680,000 naira. Economic sector is standing at 152,688,755,000 naira. Law and justice is at 1,909,909 million. Social sector is at 115,010,713,000 naira, totaling 284,515,148,000 naira. And notable change in the 2025 proposed budget in comparison with the 2024 final budget, as indicated in the table below. In the area of administration, in 2024, we had 69,876,654,567 naira, while in 2025, it has reduced to 50,947,640,620 naira. It reduced by 27.09%. In the economic sector, we had 231,778,943 naira 70 kobo. And now, in 2025, we are proposing for 200,132,170,000 naira, reduced by 13.37%. In law and justice, we had in 2024 5,032,365,007 naira, and in 2025 it has reduced to 143,650,000 naira. It reduced by 17.66%. In regional, in 2024 budget estimate, we have 1,038,072,500 naira. And in 2025, at the regional sector, we have only 185,500,000 naira. It reduced by 82.13%. In the area of social sector, we have in 2024, the year under review, 85,773,549,283 naira 71 kobo. And in 2025, it increased to 141,180,049,000 naira, increased to by 64.60%. The reason as follows. One, we are trying to re-establish or reintroduce the contract of completion of our stadium, the international stadium. We want to reintroduce it and complete it in 2025, and that is what increased the social sector. So it is also worthy of note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, and dear principal officers of this great assembly, our dear revered honorable members, that tremendous improvement is being projected in the proposed 2025 budget for the health and education sector as compared to the 2024 final budget as represented in the above table. In the area of health, in 2024, we have 18,487,118,000 naira only, whereas in 2025 proposed estimate, Mr. Speaker, is 39,012,563,000 naira, representing the increase of 111%, 111.03%. In the area of education, in 2024, our final budget amount to 59,566,375,522 naira, 0.89 kobo. And our proposed budget for 2025 is 70,143,386,000 naira, representing the increase. The increase is about 17.76%. All this will not be achieved without our 2025 revenue projection. See attached table. Descriptions. FAC revenues. We are projecting 398,700,000 naira, representing 33.64%. In independent revenue, that is in IGR, non-tax revenue, we are projecting tax revenue 14,392,449,342. That is about the grand total of the independent tax revenue is 28, because it's in two, the tax revenue and the non-tax revenue, and they are of the same figure, totaling 28,499,409,620 naira, representing 7.19%. Aids and grants. The capital gain. The capital gain amounts. The capital gain total amounts to 45,690,900,000 naira, representing 11.52%. Capital Development Fund. The Capital Development Fund amounts to the total of 181 billion, representing 45.64%. Opening balance is at 8 billion, representing 2.02%. 2025 proposed revenue is 396,589,009,620 naira, 100% of our own projected revenue. Aids and grants includes but not limited to the following: Third Fund for Tertiary Education, UBEC Infrastructural Grant for Primary and Secondary Education, UBEC BESDA Grant for Primary and Secondary, Junior Secondary School, Basic Health Care Provision Fund. Capital Development Fund includes but not limited to the following capital receipts: World Bank / donor assisted, other capital receipts. Percentage revenue increase, decrease of 2025 proposed revenue over 2024 budget. Description. The total budget increase / decrease. In 2024, the FAC revenue was budgeted to 135,733,220 naira, 220,301 naira 41 kobo. In 2025 proposed budget, we are proposing 133,398,700 naira, 700,000 naira, decrease by 1.7%. Independent revenue IGR. In 2024, we proposed 26,834,100,000 naira. And now in 2025, we are proposing, believing that by the special grace of God, we will get it, 28,499,409,620 naira, the increment of 6.2%. That is the increase. Aids and grants. In 2024, our projection was 36,607,000,000 naira only, And in 2025, we are proposing for 45,690,900,000 naira. That is the increase of 24.8%. Capital development gain in 2024, our projection was 187,530,000,000 naira. Now, in 2025, our projection is 181 billion, with a decrease of 3.5%. Opening balance in 2024 was 6 billion, and in 2025 is 8 billion. That's the increase of 33.3%. Totaling in 2024, 392 billion, 708,320,301 naira, 41 kobo. Now, in 2025 proposed budget is 396 billion, 589,009,620 naira, 1.0% increase. Conclusion: the task of governance is not an easy one. Truly, it's not an easy one. It's a very challenging one. And the task of meeting people's needs is even more challenging due to multiplicity of human wants. But we are determined to steadily pursue our commitment as outlined in the People's Charter of Need. The guiding compass of our administrations to logical conclusion, we acknowledge that we are not yet where we ought to be, but we have made significant progress. We will not relent until we reach the shore. My administration, therefore, solicits understanding and cooperation of all Ebonyi people. Mr. Speaker, and dear distinguished members of this great assembly, it is my earnest desire that this budget proposal be given speedy and favorable consideration for the achievement of its lofty plan for the state and the people. I thank you once more for your legislative intervention and the space they occupied in the scheme of growth and development of our dear state. Mr. Speaker, very distinguished members of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, it is now my honor to lay before you the 2025 proposed budget of economic and social development, totaling 396 billion, 589,900,620 naira for your kind consideration and passage into law. Thank you for your kind attention.
Present, Your Excellency. Yes, Leader of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my honorable colleagues. I remain Right Honorable Kinsley Ogbonna Ikoro. Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, the governor of Ebonyi State has just did one of his major executive responsibilities as expressly stated in section 121 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, I stand on my honor to move a motion that we do accept the budget proposal as presented by the Governor of Ebonyi State as a working document of these hallowed chambers. I so move.
Yes, Honorable Arinze.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Chukwu Arinze Lucas. I represent Ishelo South constituency. I rise to second the motion as moved by the leader of the House that we do accept the 2025 budget proposal as submitted by the Governor as a working document. I so second.
The Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, other floor functionaries of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, our revered colleagues, those who are in favor of the motion that the budget estimate as presented to us by His Excellency the Governor of Ebonyi State be accepted as a working document of this hallowed chamber, say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The budget estimate as presented by His Excellency the Governor of Ebonyi State is hereby accepted as a working document of this Honorable House. Deputy Speaker.
My boss, the Right Honorable Speaker of the 7th Assembly, Right Honorable Moses E.J. Odonwa, revered colleagues, my name is Chinedu Ona. I represent the good people of Ohuku South constituency, and there is no bad person there. Mr. Speaker, let me above all things acknowledge the supremacy of the Almighty God, the source through which we have what we enjoy today, the source through which we have the reason for this season. I have been called upon this beautiful morning to do justice to an item. The presence of a good man is always glorious and very compelling, such that it is difficult for you to sit when a good man is around and you won't do justice to one singular act of recognizing a man who deserves it. Mr. Speaker, my most revered colleagues, today we have our own, the former House Committee Chairman on Housing, too many other committees that the man chaired, former Deputy Chief Whip of this House when Right Honorable Ikuru was the Chief Whip, the immediate past Right Honorable Speaker of the 5th and 6th Assembly, the Speaker who kept speaking, and now God has elevated him to be speaking in another dimension, the reason why we are all gathered here. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I have the honor and privilege to announce to you that the Lion of the East is in the building. Let me announce to you that the mother of one wife, the most performing First Lady in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is in the house. The husband of the Noah Global. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the Grand Master of Legislative Business is in this house. And he is the Professor of Overseas Scholarship. He is our father, because the Speaker took time to analyze the giant strides of the man I want to request for something. There will be no need for me to flog the same issue. I will therefore be very economical with words, but to request that I have a seconder. Therefore, by way of motion, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise to move a motion that the House rule be stepped down to honor our own with a standing, clapping, shouting, and possibly a singing ovation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that the Right Honorable former Speaker of Ebonyi State House of Assembly, who is now His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State of Nigeria, the workaholic, tall, elegant, accurate, who is prudent in spending, is in the House. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I so move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Honorable Iguchi Kezewankwo. I represent the great people of Ohaza East, the constituency of the Rising Sun. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by the Deputy Speaker. I so second. Those who are in favor of the motion that we step down the House rule to enable us applaud our leader, our benefactor, and an achiever, say aye. Aye. Those against saying the ayes have it. We can now rise to applaud our leader. We cannot take. Can we now take our seats? Can we now take our seats? Can we now take our seats? No. Is the governor of Ebonyi State, other leaders of this state that are here present, no time is spent in eulogizing our grandmaster. That is too long. But for paucity of time, the leader of the house can now be called so we can continue with the business of the house. Leader of the house.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and my colleagues. Mr. Speaker, as you rightly said, no time is enough to eulogize our governor, who has been a two-time presiding officer of this hallowed chambers. Mr. Speaker, even when the governor was making his presentation, you can see some people wanted to start clapping. So that clapping was already waiting. So, the Deputy Speaker, I really thank you so much for that wonderful motion. We can never get it wrong when we support our leaders who are doing very well. You know, they say that when the righteous is on the throne, the people rejoice. We have a good man on the throne, and I can tell you the land of Ebonyi is rejoicing. So I want us to note that there will be no more clapping. We are back to plenary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and my colleagues. We are going to take the first reading of this. First, before going into that, I think the Deputy Speaker had already done a motion, and the motion was expressly for giving the executive governor a standing ovation. And immediately that standing ovation was given, we have returned back to plenary. So by way of motion, to make it very precise, I move a motion that we do return back to plenary to continue the business of the day. I so move.
Honorable Chinyere Nwoboga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Mrs. Chinyere Nwoboga, representing the good people of Ebonyi Northeast constituency. I rise to second the motion assembly moved by the leader of this honorable house. I so second.
Okay. Thank you. Those in favor of the motion that we return back to plenary after the ovation to our leader, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Having taken the first reading through the presentation of the Governor of Ebonyi State, I do hereby move a motion that HAB number 018 of 2024, a bill for a law to appropriate the sum of 369 billion 589 million 9,620 naira only for the service of Ebonyi State government of Nigeria for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, and provide for other matters connected thereto, do enter into second reading. I so move.
HAB 018 of 2024, a bill for a law to appropriate the sum of 396 billion 589 million 9,620 naira only to the service of Ebonyi State Government of Nigeria for the fiscal year ending 31st December 2025, and provide for other matters connected thereto. First reading.
HAB 018 of 2024, a bill for a law to appropriate the sum of 396 billion 589 million 9,620 naira only to the service of Ebonyi State Government of Nigeria for the year ending December 31st, 2025, and for other purposes. That is the second reading. And this bill is hereby allowed to pass through first reading into second reading for the members to express their opinions about the budget. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House. Mr. Speaker, I rise to express my sincere gratitude to His Excellency, the Governor of Ebonyi State, for presenting this budget of 2025 tagged the budget of economic and social development to this honorable House. Mr. Speaker, you can see an unwavering commitment to the progress and development of our dear state. You can see commitment to the rule of law. My colleagues, I do not want to take our time but rather, all I want to do again is to once more thank the governor. Because if you look through the heads and see the monies that were allocated to health, education, infrastructure, and agriculture, you could see an unwavering commitment to the development and progress of our dear state. When I was going through the larger volume of the budget, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, you know, Ebonyi State is a state that is mainly recognized for the production of rice. And with what I am seeing in this budget, if the governor of Ebonyi State can execute irrigation in our rice producing farms, it means we are going to harvest rice 3 times every year instead of once. Thank you, Mr. Governor. You've done very well. Most of us are people who have worked with you over a long period of time, and we know you have a good heart. We know you came prepared. Take, for instance, Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, look at the acquiring of the airline for Ebonyi State. So that is going to make sure that the Chuba or Kadibo International Airport is functional. And moreover, that airline is going to be a source of revenue to the state, because I can assure you the only route, the Ebonyi State route, will not be the only route. Thank you, Mr. Governor. You've done very well in developing people or getting a state on its wheels. The first thing you think of is developing. When the governor was making his presentation, he narrated how many of our people who are already undergoing training through international scholarships in different countries. That is the way to go. You must build your people if you want to make progress. Thank you, Mr. Governor. Your Excellency, I can tell you, in the last paragraph, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me round up quickly and fastly. You said you wanted us to be very fast and give this a speedy passage. Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, I beg you to help go through this budget. Let's give it the necessary speedy passage it requires. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Any other contribution to this budget? Any other contribution? Yes, Honorable Ogbeu.
Mr. Speaker, my reverend colleagues, I am Honorable Friday Ogbeu. I represent Ezza South constituency. Mr. Speaker, let me unequivocally state that the government of Ebonyi State, under the leadership of His Excellency Right Honorable Builder Francis Ogbonamwifuru, have implemented the 2024 budget to the admiration and satisfaction of every sane Ebonyi man. My assessment of this 2024 budget assessment and performance is without bias and sentiment. In the area of human capital development, His Excellency has done marvelously well. In the area of infrastructure, His Excellency is outstanding. In the area of education, he has shown our unwavering commitment. It is evident in our villages where wonderful infrastructures are sprouting, and he has backed it up with the ongoing employment of teachers to ensure that these structures are utilized in the upbringing of our future children. In agriculture, I can assure you that His Excellency and his team has guaranteed food security for Ebonyans in the coming years. You have run an inclusive government, and as such, you deserve our commendation. Let me also, in a very big way, applaud the spirit of effective supervision and monitoring of the project you are executing to ensure quality project delivery. With what we have seen today, Your Excellency and Mr. Speaker, if this budget, this 2025 budget proposal is approved and implemented in its usual way, I want to assure you that the infrastructure deficit of Ebonyi State will be corrected. I want to also say, without missing words, that the yearning of Ebonyans in the education sector, in the human capital development, and in other areas, because this is the government that has not marginalized any sector. And I know, with what is on ground, we are very convinced that this 2025 budget will address every need and the necessary needs of Ebonyans if implemented. And it is on this note, Mr. Speaker, that I rise to lend my voice to what the leader said, that we should give our voices to ensure the accelerated passage of this budget to make Ebonyans happy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any other contribution? Yes, Chief Abiri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Abiri Godwin Abiri, representing the good people of TVC West State Constituency. First and foremost, I want to use this ample opportunity to commend our dear governor, #1 governor in Nigeria, the best performing governor in Nigeria, for his performance and judicious and prudent use of public funds. This appropriation bill is apt, and I have gone through it. We have three categories of types of budget: budget deficit, budget surplus, and balanced budget. And this particular one belongs to the best type of budget. The income and expenditure at equal level. That shows that it's a balanced budget. And this time around, it's very difficult for one to put down a forecast or a budget that can take up to 1 year because of the inflations and fluctuations of goods, price of things in the market. The exchange rate is going up every day. At this point, Mr. Speaker, I am of the view that this budget will lead us, Ebonyans, to economic growth, economic development, and economic sustainable development. I urge my colleagues to throw their weight behind all this important bill for accelerated passage. Thank you, and God bless us.
The Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, other floor functionaries, my revered colleagues, other leaders of Ebonyi State here gathered, haven't heard from all of us, represented by our contributors, they would wish that this budget estimate as presented by His Excellency the Governor of Ebonyi State be committed to the committee of the whole, headed by the Chairman, Budget and Planning, who will now scrutinize appropriately the budget and come out with the final clean copy that we wish His Excellency would assent to. So on this note, I want to urge you to be committed so that you can traverse the length and breadth of this budget estimate and normally come up with a budget estimate that His Excellency will be proud to implement. And this has to be as quickly and as precise as possible to enable this passage be passed here by the hallowed chamber. Okay, sorry about. I was saying that for this budget estimate to go to the next level, which is the screening by this committee I have mentioned, those who are in favor that the motion as put by the leader of the House and supported by other members of the House be allowed, that the budget estimate be allowed to pass through this second reading to the next reading. Say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The committee now that will work on the budget, like I have stated before, is to be headed by the Chairman, Budget Committee, and Appropriation. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Right Honorable Kinsley Ogbonna Ikoro. Mr. Speaker, I can see that our visitor, the Excellency the Governor, has done justice to why he came here. So I stand on my honor to move a motion that we do usher him out so that he can go on with other businesses of the state. I so move.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Goodluck Obinambam. I represent the group of his constituency. I rise to second the motion. Every member of the House, I so second.
Those who are in favor of the motion that our dear visitor be allowed to step out to enable us to continue with the other business of the House, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The office type, let us round up and join you. What in your okay. Oh, yeah, come here, mate. Let them come and adjourn.
I know.
Right.